Good morning, my dear students. In the previous class, we started discussing about the concepts of directing and controlling of Module 2. In the first class of Module 2, we have discussed about what is directing and what are the properties of directing process and how to utilize this particular directing process in order to reach the goal of the organization. And also we have discussed about what is the leadership, who is a leader, and what are the qualities the leader should have, and the different types of leadership. Like we have discussed about what is an autocratic, what is democratic, and free reign. Yes. So in today's class, we will be discussing about motivational theories and types of motivational theories. So what is the motivation here? See, motivation is a process where we are going to motivate the employees in order to achieve a specific task of an organization. What if I want to achieve a task of an organization, then as a manager, my role is to help them to satisfy the goal of the organization. How you are going to inspire them? What you are going to do in order to motivate the employees? See, motivation deals with different aspects. Sometimes the motivation process may require for the employee depending upon the situation of his own. Like it may be somewhere like if the employee is not able to work properly due to some personal issues, then we have to identify what is the problem and we have to motivate them in order to overcome that particular drawback and make them to work in such a way that he must not get diverted towards the other activities rather than the work of the organization. See, whenever the employees of the organization gets diverted towards something else rather than the main task which has to be achieved by the organization, then the manager has to take care of such kind of diversions and he has to overcome those particular diversions of employees. And this will help them in order to come back towards the work and work in an effective manner and complete the task which has been assigned to an employee by the organization. If the task is achieved properly, if the task is achieved successfully, then it is very easy for the organization to reach the goal which has been fixed for a particular project or a particular work. Each and every employee's mentality will be completely different. Some people will be dedicated towards the work itself. Some people will be dedicated towards the work 50% and dedicated towards some other activities. So there are n number of people who will be having different types of mentality in the same organization. So we can't say that each and every person must be motivated in the specific manner. Motivation can be done depending upon the situation and depending upon the thinking of an employee. If the employee is facing some problem, then we have to identify the problem and we have to motivate them in order to overcome that particular problem and make them to work in a successful manner. Sometimes the employee, even though he doesn't have any sort of problem, he won't be able to work. He won't be ready to work. He will be dedicated, he will be coming to the office and he will be sitting in the office and he will be going back to the home by taking some wages. How you are going to motivate such type of people? How you are going to, like a best example when it comes to the student's point of view. You will be coming to the class, you will be sitting in the class and you will be going back to the home without gaining any sort of knowledge from your lecturers. You are coming to the college only for the purpose of attendance and only for the purpose of other activities rather than studies. When we find this type of students in the classes, as a teacher, in what way we can motivate them to come back towards the studies by diverting all those particular activities which he was having earlier and get some very good academical marks. What we can do that? What we can do in order to increase the performance of a particular student by overcoming the drawback of being idle in the class and become active in the class. convert idle student to active student in a particular class. How you are going to motivate as a teacher? That is very important here. See, most of the students, like some will be 50% interested in the class, some will be 100% interested in the class, some will not be interested in the class, instead they will be coming only for attendance purpose. We can't use this particular word called as motivation for all the students in the same manner. Depending upon the situation of the student, depending upon the mentality of the student or an employee, when it comes to an example of organization, we have to think how we can make him to reach the goal, how we can make him to work successfully, achieve the task successfully, by overcoming the drawback which he is having in the previous stages. That has to be done by the manager or the teacher of a particular organization. If it comes to an example of a teacher and student relationship, then how you are going to motivate the student in order to overcome the drawback what he was having earlier. See, motivation deals with different aspects. Motivation deals with different aspects. We can't say that encouraging them will help us to reach the goal. Encouragement can be done over for the one who are in the track. But the one who is not in the track, for them, along with encouragement, we have to do some other aspects. What is the thing that we can do in order to make them to come back to the track? My question to you is, if the student is not on track, if the student is not ready to work, if the student is not ready to study, then but he is coming to the college daily, he is attending the classes daily, but he is not attentive in the class. For them, according to you, how you are going to motivate your friend as a friend? He is not having a discipline, he is not having a focus towards the studies, instead he is focused towards other activities other than studies as a student. So how you are going to motivate those students? Are you able to listen my voice?
By telling the importance of studies.
By telling the importance of studies. Not only, yeah, that's true. And along with this, is there anything else? See, when it comes to your point of view, one student, Amruta said that by representing the importance of studies, we can make him to come back to the track. Will you come back to the track if I say about studies? If you study well, if you get placed, you will be having a very good life in your life, in your future, and you will be able to achieve all the things what you are interested in, and you can enjoy your life. If I say this, will you get motivated and divert your activities towards the studies?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Only that particular thing will help you to get motivated, or is there anything else that is required for you in order to get motivated? Please speak out.
Sir, and he has to take responsibilities.
What type of responsibilities? Who has to take the responsibilities? Teacher or a student?
Students.
Responsibility will come into the picture only if he come on track. Yes or no? He will
Yes, sir.
have some discipline and responsibility. He will think about his responsibilities and he will come on track only if we divert him from other activities towards the studies. So one way is we can say him the importance of the study, that is the importance of his career, and we can say them that we can make him to dream about his future. Second one is the one along with the studies, we have to motivate him emotionally, saying that you are capable of doing this and you are wasting your time on other activities. And see, your parents, they are struggling hard in order to make you to study. Like these are the some important things which we have to mix up and we have to motivate them so that they can realize their mistake and they can move further with the next track, which is their own track, which is their major track. So motivating the one who is in other track and asking him to come back to the main track, which is most essentially needed for his life, is one of the very toughest job in our life. Very toughest job in our life. But the encouraging the one who is already in the track is easiest way. So this is what an example that I can tell you. Motivating is one of the important factor for each and every people in our life. Each and everyone requires motivation. Each and everyone requires support and encouragement in order to achieve the goal of whatever that has been set by each and every people. Whenever we are going to discuss about motivational factors in front of any people, whether it may be a person, whether it may be a student or any other people, student or an employee or the teacher, even teacher requires motivational factors in order to meet the goal of his subject. If I am not able to understand, then what I have to do? I have to take the support of any other faculties and I have to try to digest that particular subject and I have to prepare myself in order to deliver a talk in a proper manner. Without taking the support if I just go on reading the textbook, what is present in the textbook, then it will not give an effective result for the students. So if I am not able to do that, then I must take the support of anyone who is perfect in that particular subject and I must request them and they must motivate us saying that you can do it. And you can do it and this is what we can do it and this is what the concept is meant for. If they teach us and if they motivate us in such a way that this is the subject where you can do this particular subject in a proper manner, only the thing that is needed for you is studies. You have to work on that particular subject bit hard compared to other subject which you know. Then only the teacher can get motivated and he can try to implement that particular subject in front of the students in a proper manner. That is what the best examples that we can say for motivation. Whereas in this particular case, the performance of the employee, a performance of an employee can be measured by using two factors. One is working ability and the other one is willingness. Ability to work into willingness. The performance can be measured by taking the support of this formula. Performance is equal to ability into willingness can help you to achieve the goal. What is your ability? Your ability to score 70%. And what is your willingness? Your willingness is 0. If your willingness is 0 and if your ability is 70%, then 70 into 0 is 0. Willingness is one which is very important in your life. You have capability. Every one of the students of our college, each and every student is having an capability of scoring well and getting placed in any of the good companies. But what is the major problem that we are facing is your willingness is not there in terms of ability. If you match your willingness along with ability, then you can be a successful person in your life, or else 0. You have ability of 70%, scoring 70 to 80%, but since your willingness is very less, if your willingness is less, even though you have an ability, since the willingness is less, the performance gets degraded. So both must be well balanced. If your ability is 70% and if your willingness is 100%, then you can increase your ability from 70 to 90. Why? Because you are interested. You are interested in your studies. You are dedicated towards your studies. You are disciplinary towards studies. Will help you to reach the success in a proper manner. What is the major problem that we face is every time what we do, we are not showing interest towards our studies. Instead, we are showing that particular willingness to something else rather than studies. I'm not saying 100% willingness. I don't want 100% willingness in terms of my students. At least 70 to 80% of willingness will help you to reach your success. So if you have willingness and if your ability is, if for example, if your ability is something around 40%, and if you have willingness that I have to achieve this goal, compulsory I have to achieve this goal in order to make my family happy. If you have willingness, ability will increase automatically. Best example is your sir itself. My willingness was zero. My ability was something around 50% when I was studying engineering graduate. My willingness was to get placed in any of the good company. But unfortunately, due to some problem, I couldn't reach that particular criteria. And finally, I joined for MTech by taking the suggestions of my teachers who are working in this particular college. Then I joined MTech, and there my willingness was just to study and reach the target. So there, since my willingness was high, and even though my ability was only 50%, frankly speaking, ability is 50% and willingness is very high. Since my willingness was very high, the ability of mine increased and I reached the target of 80% in my MTech graduation. That is what the thing that we must have. See, along with the motivation which takes place in between you and your parent or a teacher, along with that, you must motivate yourself. What you want, you must have a goal. You must fix up your goal, saying that this is what I must do. Everyone are interested to get into the software sector, but you are not ready to work for the software sector. You are not ready to work in order to achieve that particular goal. Why? Because my willingness is something else. My goal is fixed, but I am in the same place. I am not moving towards that goal. Instead, I am sitting in the same place. If you don't move towards that particular goal with your hard work and smart work, then it's impossible. Working helps you to achieve the goal. Without work, you can't achieve any sort of small goal also. So that particular thing is dependent on these two factors. Ability and willingness which is present inside you will help you to reach the goal in a successful manner. So this is what the examples that we can give for motivation, and this is what about the brief idea and brief introduction about motivation theory. So the next concept here is, the motivation theory is broadly divided into three different types. One is Maslow's hierarchical needs, second one is Bloom's taxonomy, and the third one is Herzberg theory. Okay. So the first one here is, what is motivational theory? Motivational need of hierarchy was developed by a scientist called as Maslow in the year 1988. He says that need of a people is dependent on 5 different factors. One is physiological needs, second one is safety needs, third one is it comes from down to top. Physiological needs, safety, love and belongings, esteem and self-actuation needs. What is physiological needs? See, as soon as, like for example, if I start earning, my requirement at the starting stage will be completely different, and my requirement after 20 years or 10 years of experience will be completely different. Yes or no? When you start your career in your life, what is the major requirement of you? Each and every people's major requirement in order to lead their life happily is food, shelter, water and sleep. Isn't it? Food, shelter, water, sleep, clothing. So, he says that each and every people must be set as soon as they start working. They will be concentrating on achieving this particular criteria, which is called as water, food, shelter. These are the major important thing which is majorly required for us to live our life. Yes or no? Without water can we live? Without food can we live? Without shelter can we live? Without sleep can we live? No, right? So these are the basic important requirements which is most essentially needed for each and every person in their life. So physiological needs are broadly divided based upon the basic needs of employees. Each and every employee will be trying to satisfy themselves by taking the basic requirements which is most essentially needed for them. For example, if I am not able to earn food, if I am not able, if I am struggling hard to earn food for 3 times, will you think about buying a car? Will you think about buying a car? Yes or
No, sir.
no, right?
No, sir.
So, whenever we want to go towards higher position, first and foremost thing is we have to start from the basic position. So basic requirement is nothing but physiological needs. These physiological needs are those which speaks about air, water, food, shelter and sleep is the most essential requirement of each and every employee, wherein they will be trying to satisfy their requirements, these particular requirements first as soon as they start their career in any of the companies or any of the places. Just wherever they go for earning, first and foremost thing is they think about can we get 3 times food, can we get a shelter from this, can we get a water from this, can we get a very good sleep from this. Yes, then that is one which they are trying to satisfy first as soon as they get into the job. Next is they will think about the safety needs, whether the company which has given me a job, whether that particular company is providing a security towards my job which has been allocated to me, whether they will be taking the work from me for only few months or few days, or whether it will be long lasting. Personal security in the sense the job security which is majorly required for each and every employee of an organization, as well as the resources. The resources must be in such a way that it must be well secured and it cannot be misused by anyone else. And the third one is health. When I start working, whether it affects my health or not. If it affects my health, then that particular job will not help me to be in a safe manner. Instead, it will affect me. As well as the fourth one is the property. That is what it speaks, security or safety needs. People want to be free of physical danger and of fear of losing the job, property or shelter. If they lose the job, then automatically if they get affected by working in that particular company, and if they are physically damaged, then automatically they will lose the job. As soon as they lose the job, whatever the needs that has been satisfied in the first clause they will lose this also. They will lose as soon as the job is lost. Food will not be there, water will not be there, proper shelter will not be there, as well as sleep will not be there. So the organization must give a security measurements to the employee, saying that you will be here for longer period if your work is satisfactory according to the organization policies. If the employee meets the organization policies and if it is satisfied, then automatically they can have a very good safety measurement towards their employment. If they have a very good safety measurements towards their employment, then automatically they can lead their life happily and they can move further for the third phase. Where the third phase is love and belonging. The another name is social needs. Another one is social needs. So here social needs are nothing but each and every person requires some time to spend their life with their family, as well as with their friends, as well as with the other people in and around the society. Social, like every day, 24 hours, if you go on working on a particular company, that doesn't make a sense. Along with the physiological needs, along with the security needs, sometimes the employee of any organization requires some social needs to be satisfied. Social needs can be meeting the family, spending some time with the family, spending some time with the friends, and getting some more new connections with the other people in and around the society, and conducting some social activities whenever that is needed for the society, as well as the organization must also take care of this. Like they must make their employees to be free from the work sometimes whenever that is required, like they have to arrange some get together parties, they have to arrange some success parties, like if the project gets success and if it is delivered in a proper manner, then there will be some sort of get together parties in the organizations. So this will help them to refresh themselves. Refreshing themselves is possible only if they spend some time of their daily life either with their family, with their beloved ones, whether it may be a friends or a family, or it may be any other people to whom we are going to meet. So this is what about the third factor speaks about. And the fourth factor is esteem. I have satisfied with my basic needs, I have satisfied with my security needs, I have satisfied with my friend circle, I have satisfied with my family, and everything is fine here. Next, what is my goal is, I will think about the status. What this particular status speaks. Now I am earning more. If I am satisfied, if I am in this particular position, then automatically what I will be thinking is, now my goal is to get the car. My goal is to buy the car. My goal is to build big house rather than what I am staying right now. Like the status, like we will try to increase the status of myself in the society. So self-esteem and status and recognition, strength and freedom. It speaks about the people being satisfied with their belongings will tend to move towards the next step of high factor or hi-fi life of their life in their life. That is what the esteem need speaks about. Whereas self-actuation need speaks about, if you are capable of doing something, then you can be capable of doing more than what you are doing right now. Self-actuation is nothing but thinking about myself. Okay, fine, I am working on this particular project. So I think I may do some more big projects rather than what I am working for. Self-actuation speaks about self-motivating myself in order to move towards the next step of my positions. Like if I am a software engineer and I am capable of senior software engineer, then I can apply for senior software engineer jobs wherever that is requirement. So why? Because your ability, your thinking, your motivation inside you will help you to think about those things. Self-actuation is nothing but moving from one position to the other position. Moving from one position to other position is possible only if you are satisfied with what you are doing right now. And when you are doing perfect job right now, then you can think about, okay, fine, I have done all these things and these are the things which has to be done by me and I am successful in this, then I can try for the next position. So trying for the next position is required only if you realize yourself. Realizing yourself in order to move further with the next step is possible only if you are motivated towards yourself. You are the one who has to motivate yourself. You are the one who have to think about it. You are the one who have to move further. So this is possible only if your work is satisfied here in all those four aspects. If your work is satisfied in all this, and if you are successful in all these particular four factors, then the next is you can think about moving further. Everything like till now, whatever the person, any people that is required, whatever the requirement, it can be satisfied within these four phases. Once they reach these four phases, next is their dream is to move further and get some more better expected opportunities in the same company or in any other companies. Is possible if you are self-actuated, if you are self-motivated towards yourself based upon the work which you have carried out earlier. So this is what about the Maslow's need of hierarchy, and this is what the explanation that we can give for. And this is one of the very important concept for your main examination point of view. One is one is psychological needs, second one is security and or safety needs, third one is social needs, fourth one is esteem needs, and fifth one is self-actuation needs. Becoming to the maximum one potential to accomplish something. That is what self-actuation need speaks about. Understood? Understood everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shall we move further with the next?